Hello everyone, welcome to another Ultimate Fighter episode review. The last episode before the final two fights, the finale fights, which will be held at the next UFC on ESPN event. So yeah, this was the last fight of the season between Tresean Gore of Team Ortega against Gilbert Urbina of Team Volkanovski. And yeah, I'm just going to run through the episode as best as I can, tell you what I can remember, and just see where we end up with it. So the episode starts with Team Volkanovski and some of his coaches in the TUF house, and they're cooking a great big meal for their boys. And I want to do something different for this review anyway. Now, that's just coming off the top of my head. I want to focus on Volkanovski's side first, then focus on Team Ortega after that. But yeah, Team Volkanovski cook a great big meal for Gilbert and the rest of the Volkanovski team, obviously. And yeah, it's just they just have a really fun time and everything. And it's nice again that Volkanovski keeps doing this, and he also seems to be a really good cook from what I'm seeing. I know I would eat that food. He even makes eggs, and I don't like eggs, but I would eat those eggs. So, yeah, at some point after that, they do start training, and Gilbert wants to work more on his striking, and he is seen doing that. Mostly focused on his wrestling though, but yeah, he is working quite a fair bit on his striking, and because Tresean might be the best striker of these final four, is it final four? Yeah. Well, okay, the best striker of these last two fighters. Let's just go with that anyway, but yeah, Gilbert is working very much heavily on his striking, and that is something he looks to take in with him into the fight. And obviously, let's not forget that he did get to call his family as well before going in, and there was actually quite a sweet moment because he was talking to his parents and his brother, well, one of his brothers, and his mom said that around the time that Gilbert had his first fight when he beat Michael Gilmore, his mum said that she had a dream about that, and she had a dream that he actually moved on to the semi-finals, and I was like, oh, that was kind of sweet, and they had like a big cry about it. It was very, very sweet and very emotional, and I really liked it. So yeah, that's it for Gilbert's line, although there is a bit we'll come back to in a moment. Next up, we focus on Tresean Gore now, and Team Ortega, obviously. So Team Ortega actually brings his family, his two sons, that even I didn't know he had, because Brian himself says that he keeps a very private, personal life. And yeah, he brings his sons over and his brother and his dad as well. And they also make a great big barbecue for their fighters, and they just have a really good time, you know. You could see like the fighters, one of the fighters on Team Ortega, Daniel Argueta, was actually teaching one of Brian's sons to play pool. That was quite a fun moment. I like that. Yeah, they were just having, again, just a really fun time, and Brian, you know, saying that if you do go over to his house and you're not really fully part of his family, he'll treat you like family, because he's a good dude, as is Volkanovski, as we've established. So yeah, it was very fun and very sweet to see Brian doing something like this, and to bring his family around as well, something that he's probably not used to doing, and all respect to him for wanting to keep that stuff private, considering how popular a fighter he is, and how good his record is, obviously, and the fact that he's a normal contender to the Featherweight Championship. He's got a pretty big name in MMA right now, and him wanting to keep that private, totally understandable. The game plan for Tresean is actually sort of the same, really focused on his striking, and he does add more volume to his striking in the training, because he did sort of appear one and done in his first fight, but he did well enough to get a bit further in, you know. I mean, he's in the semis after all. And there was a moment where Brian actually wanted to test his mental resolve, so when they were sparring, he actually went quite hard on him, and Tresean was like, alright, we'll go hard on sparring. And they do a lot of really good trading. Thankfully, no one was overly hurt. And Brian mostly did it as an assessment to Tresean's mental game. Like, he knows that Tresean is there physically. As a striker, he's damn good. But mentally, he's got to be a step ahead, and he's not quite there yet. And that is a good point of Brian to make, because he is a very mentally strong fighter himself. So if he's able to sort of teach something like that on his last fight, or on his last hope to get into the finale, by beating the snot out of him in sparring, but thankfully Tresean got some of his own licks in too, then yeah, you know, it's sort of a fair thing, really. But obviously no one was really pissed about it, and Tresean does get the message, and he does actually learn from it, weirdly enough. And Tresean does even get to see his own family. He gets to talk to his wife and his newborn Baba, who is small and chunky and adorable, and you just wipe his cheeks. Like, yeah, his wife and son, very, very adorable, and it was really, really nice to see him, like, you know, he didn't cry like Gilbert did with his family, but Tresean, you could tell he was emotional, and he was doing what he was doing for them. and it was just apparent, like the joy on his face. He really liked to see them, and I don't blame him because, you know, it's a cute family for one, but seeing family after that long away from not seeing them, pretty understandable. And then there are a couple of things I want to talk over before we get to the fight itself. So Gilbert actually does something for Tresean. He actually cooks him like a wee meal. A lot of cooking in this episode. Yeah, he makes him like a sort of wee meal before they actually fight, just to say there's no real hard feelings between them, and like there wasn't before, but you know, yeah, it really proved that he just wanted to be good friends with Tresean, and obviously Tresean, like, yeah, he was pretty cool with it. He, you know, he and Gilbert got on well. I think they even hugged, and he ate some of the food. I don't know what else to say. It was just a really nice moment. And there was a small moment after this as well where Tresean was chilling with some of Team Volkanovski's boys, and they were actually like doing some singing. Brian Battle was there, like providing drum beats and stuff with his clapping and hands. And Tresean actually, turns out, he's got a pretty good singing voice, and if he ever does retire as a fighter, he could probably make it as a good singer, but he's only in his mid-20s. He's younger than me, which, again, sickening when I see that, but yeah, the dude probably has a good career in singing. He's got a pretty decent voice, all things considered. But that is neither here nor there. We've talked about everything I can talk about. Now we've got to talk about the fight itself. Both fighters make away exactly the same, weirdly, 185.5. Odd, but yeah, we go to the fight itself, and for a long period of it is very much a filling out process. Gilbert does start pressing a little bit with his jab, throws a good couple of shots, even manages to get some really good body work in, and he steps in with the jab, and he's cracked with a nasty left hook that knocks him down. Oh crap. So yeah, Gilbert is like sort of, he's a bit wary after this point. He even lands a pretty good right on Tresean at some point in the in-between, and does sort of wobble him. But Tresean, like, you know, he is backing up, but he's not as one and done as everyone is saying he is. He is trying to double up with the jab. Not doing it too effectively because Gilbert's footwork is really, really good, but there is a great moment in round one when Gilbert goes for a head kick, and Tresean's head movement, getting away with it, was some beautiful stuff. Really, really good how he got out of that. But, yeah, Tresean keeps backing away. Eventually, he does counter with the left jab of his own and knocks Gilbert down again. Oh, crap. And then, yeah, absolutely keeps following up with him on that. I think it's after that left jab, or it could be after something after that, but after Tresean lands a knockdown, he follows up with some really good striking, lands some really good uppercuts, and he even starts to throw some body work, which was what Gilbert was doing to him. Gilbert does land a really good front kick against Tresean against the cage, and yeah, a lot of the first round is really back and forth between them. I would narrowly give it to Tresean, mostly for the knockdowns. He was landing some really good shots. He wasn't following up on them as much as I would have liked him to, but he did what he could with them, and he got 3 knockdowns. You know, Gilbert maybe got a wobble at best, but yeah, Tresean definitely walked away with round 1 because, oh yeah, I forgot to mention the third knockdown, a beautiful left-right combo. Completely clocked Gilbert, but you know, the main thing is what happens in round 2, so let's get to that. But yeah, round 1, more in favour of Tresean. Then we get to round 2, and Tresean is immediately pressing the action. He knows he has Gilbert hurt going in, and he's starting to like land some really good shots on him, starting to follow with some really good volume. Gilbert is landing a good couple of counters, but he's not really landing enough, and there is a moment where he does eventually start backing Tresean away against the cage, and he goes in for a jab, and the same left hook that knocked him down in round 1 knocks him out in round 2. Tresean clips him with a left hook coming in, and the referee steps in, and yeah, Gilbert is completely fucking out, and Tresean gets the win, being the only Team Ortega member to make it to the finale. Sort of. We will get to that. So, yeah, all in all, though, I thought this fight was pretty good. I thought round 1 was extremely competitive. I really enjoyed the volume striking between the two. Gilbert had some really good moments. Tresean had some really good moments, but Tresean, yeah, he definitely definitively ended it, and ended the last fight of the season with a really stunning knockout. Probably the best knockout of the season, maybe. So, yeah, it was really good to how that played out for him. And after the fight, neither of the two are really upset about it either. They were pretty good friends, but Tresean shows nothing but love to Gilbert, and Gilbert, as he's walking back to like the dressing room to get his injuries checked out and stuff, he's not mad at all. He's got a big smile on his face. He's got his head held on. He's just like, I'm proud that I was able to get as far as I did, you know, and all the love to Tresean in the world. And I was like, yeah, we need more respect like that. So Tresean, Gilbert, love you both. Great work from both of you. And Tresean, I'm sorry you didn't actually get to the finale despite winning the fight to get in. We'll talk about that now. So I looked this up about 10 minutes ago because I was trying to find out when the fighters would be fighting, and you know, I'm not going to be watching those fights or anything. I will be watching the fight of the night, whatever that is, and it could very well be Ricky Turcios versus Brady Easton to determine the bantamweight winner. But Tresean Gore suffered a knee injury, so he's actually being replaced in that finale by Gilbert Urbina. So turns out we are getting all Team Volkanovski members fighting each other. So we'll have Gilbert Urbina versus Brian Battle in the middleweights to determine that winner. And in the bantamweights, Ricky Turcios versus Brady Easton, who were both on Team Volkanovski anyway. And I feel really bad that this happened. I mean, it's not the first time it's happened, but, you know, you hate to see it when the Ultimate Fighter returns. You hate to see it when a talented fighter wins in such a definitive way and isn't able to make it to the finale because of an injury. But it is sort of part of the game. It is how it happens. And obviously, I really liked the season. I really liked how it played out. And as for my picks for who wins at the Ultimate... Well, not the Ultimate Fighter finale. It's just going to be an ESPN Fight Night. I'm going for Brian Battle and Ricky Turcios. Those are the two I'm going for. Those are the two I would love to see win the whole thing, and I think they're probably the most deserving, especially Ricky. He's one of my favourite TUF fighters, and well, he's just got so much charisma, and he's so fun to watch fight too, so yeah, really looking forward to seeing how those two do. And even if they don't win, you know, Gilbert and Brady also really talented, really good at what they do. And that'll about do it for this episode review, and that'll about do it for this season of The Ultimate Fighter. As I said, I won't be watching any of the finale fights. I keep saying finale, there's not going to be a TUF finale, even though there should be. But yeah, really had a lot of fun watching this season. It's always nice to see more talented fighters coming in, and even though Tresean isn't going to be able to make it, and that means none of Team Ortega's members are able to get to the finale, that does suck. Even though we're not getting that, though, we're probably going to get some entertaining fights, and maybe 2 future stars in their respective divisions. I would really like to see where Ricky, Brady, Brian, and Gilbert end up after this, and where some of the other fighters on the show might end up, because a lot of them did really well. So yeah, looking forward to that. As for what's next from me, most likely a random gaming stream tonight. Maybe an episode of Music of the Week tomorrow or Monday. I haven't decided when. Possibly a Fight the Night review on Sunday, because there actually is a UFC card tomorrow night. I completely forgot there wasn't one last week. So yeah, and that'll about do it. Also, at some point in the week, PBW vs AVW, the Go Home Show for Harsh Environment, and also the Idols backtracking stuff, the very brief history, and hopefully a full episode. I've only got to write about Ultramono, so that's it. I should be able to get that done. A lot planned, obviously. But yeah, that's really about it. That's all I have for this video. Go find this episode. It was really good. The ending was really fun. The ending to the fight was good. And I'm looking forward to the finale fights. And as always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye.